Hello everyone, this is East Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. Here we are in Tier 39 at the end of the season, a bit shy of 21,100 lift, but not the end of the world, just like how our defense started. So of course this season with Glacier being bonus, I decided to do something silly, which is try running Ascended Fjorm. So this basically tries to discourage opponents from doing hit and run with ranged units, but of course, as we all know, one problem with that is folks have this thing called safe defense, and Ascended Fjorm doesn't have ice meter at turn 1, so they can just snipe his own turn 1, which is not great for us.
A single
Here to
strike.
start out. Their brave Mark putting in some work. And well, unfortunately, for the harmonized weak here,
all will perish.
No match for Glacier.
Come on.
Shenanigans going on, aka Duma. That's pretty much it. Duma is upheaval plus allowing
Just like
us
Fafnir.
to rock going intense, guaranteed.
A single
But
strike.
here, a Brave Mark already pretty low on HP, doesn't have his special up right now. So that is going to be a problem for him. Enemy phase, he can't use all units here, and just like that, he's going to be unable to one-shot.
Give up now.
So, there's 3A, but he still does 20 damage, which is not bad. At this point though, we've already taken out 2 of their units, so we end up surrendering. Overall offense this week was fine. We were running a combination of both Legendary Crom and Fjorm. Legendary Fjorm for the purposes of having bonus units. And we also typically do try using Fjorm during the season. Unfortunately, our offense was perfect except for one match where we had to make a tactical sack play because we had no other options. So, it was a team where, as far as I remember, I had damage. We were up against a harmonized Mia. So one of our options was to bait a harmonized Lysithea. Not feasible because low speed res with a massive attacks and speed stats, so attack twice. Yeah, Ascended Fjorm. And of course, Ascended Fjorm would not kill in the counter and she's getting quadded. Not gonna end well, of course. And then we have what's her name? Harmonized Mia. She did have Wind Sweep, but we were running no Sea Disrupt and no Follow-Up Seal. I wanted to try out no Follow-Up Seal on Fjorm. It wasn't too bad, aside from the fact that we lose out on attack and speed from doing that.
Just like Fafnir.
So we could counterattack. The problem is we were getting doubled, and unfortunately we were just taking too much damage. She wasn't even running roll speed defense, which of course is Wind Sweep. But even with our max field buffs, for example, Naga smiting, giving her dragon effectiveness, so from her divine, what's her weapon? Divine buff? I don't know. From her refine, she would also be able to buff Fjorm stats even more. Even with all of that, she was still going to get doubled, and was just taking too much damage. Since you're running Iceberg over Ice Mirror, there's always that toss-up of what should we use. I still prefer Iceberg over Ice Mirror, just because Ice Mirror doesn't actually help us out too much against ranged units for the most part. So, and they had a rally situation where whichever ranged unit we would bait, the other ranged unit on the other side of the map would be able to come over and rally, and then they had a harmonized Azura, so they could get that +1 movement and overlap threat ranges when applicable, of course. Fortunately, harmonized Azura doesn't give +1 movement to calves. That would be abysmal for us. At the end of the day, we just had to make a tactical sack with Fjorm, and because of AI, we forced it, so...
I don't think so.
Ascended. So, Harmonized Mia would take out our Fjorm, but she would be in Wings of Mercy range, and so we had it set up so their Harmonized Azura would not dance Harmonized Mia and instead nuke herself into our legendary Crom. Or was it Plumeria? I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure it was Crom because Plumeria probably wasn't taking
For the world I dreamt of.
And then after that it was straightforward cleanup, but I don't think there was a reasonable way for us to... The other range unit on the other side of the map was Dual Corn, by the way. No chance of legendary complication tanking here. And kind of a similar deal for Fjorm. The problem is more that we would be missing a kill. And I think we were getting quadded. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, similar problem to
Better accept it.
And then there's the other thing of if we did win the duo corn matchup, which is probably the only scenario that would be relevant, since if we aren't doubling back, we're probably getting doubled, aka quadded. We're probably not surviving that, even with the only pretty reasonable res stat.
Divine punishment.
So it ends up just becoming an L situation. Oh, of course we have to deal with the dance from
Step aside.
Use that as well. Essentially, there was no way we could really get away with
accept
our shenanigans. So I actually had also, I forgot to mention, Plumeria bait out their dual corn. Another big problem was they had Dumo upgrade +19, and so turn 1 we used down 10 HP, which did not help Fjorm at all with surviving. So that's unfortunate, and well, our Fjorm also just did not have enough attack.
Corin's the coolest.
Harmonized Mia, although of course it's not really a thing. I forget if she was... I believe she was running Portly Fan over Summer Strikers. That is why we didn't have a chance at one-shotting Katana. Otherwise, yeah, of course we would go to battle at that point. No way we would be able to do that. Unfortunately here, Dumo cannot one-shot Regan counter, but of course they have Ride Fjorm as well to do advantage. And well, pretty much recurring themes across the board, same team comps for the most part. General ideas, you can either nuke and run, if you run correctly, or you can just hit and turn in a good spot, or even in a bad spot if you have strong enough units. There's really no threat on this team. In terms of actual nuking capabilities, Harmonized Roy is more here for the buffing and less for actual combat.
We'll protect you always.
But I guess he can do some damage. Nice. He does end up surviving here, which won't really do much. Of course, he's never going to beat crazy with our one, especially when his special is proccing on his second attack. And he has no access to popping his Harmonized skill because he's
I will protect you.
AI's hands. And well, Ascended Fjorm here is going to get exactly one KO. That's
Here is
unfortunate.
something to believe
also
in.
barely misses the kill. Great job. Feels bad, man. What can you do? Of course, they had other options.
Step aside.
Wanted to take care of enemy part units here, but here this is just not going to end well. We have the forces not in range of literally
Don't get in my
So,
way.
we're co-roaming.
Just my luck.
This new theme, all or not. Here are legendary heroes. Working power, more attack and speed. Although the opposing legendary hero.
Care for an
Not
encore?
entirely sure that probably just something.
All over.
Well, to have that much more speed is definitely something. Oh, so probably all is it up our mythics?
I won't back down.
He might give defense. Sarah's good with attack too, I think. So we're pretty attack heavy. But that's about it for us. We're not gonna get too much more out of this. Nice amount of damage to one shot. Legendary Zura, and well,
I won't
Brave
back
Fatal
down.
Guard, unable to one-shot Breaker.
Fool.
With no follow-up target. Well, for guaranteed fall attack is neutralized. I believe the proc is and that's Zuma at least able to pick up a kill on forward here. And while we're gonna keep picking up kills here, all their units,
So this is
trail
how it
units
ends.
are in range. And well, legendary female nail violence. Thinking about Pawns of Loki still. Doesn't have his null follow-up when he's now within 2 spaces with an ally, which is definitely a problem. It is definitely a problem in modes like Arena. I exploit that a ton. So that's nice. Here we have probably Gale Force, from the looks of it, / end turn. So just being a little flexible. Multiple strategies in one. Well, as long as Brave Mark can hold the fort on the melee end, everything else should be fine. One thing I kind of forgot to do was switch legendary heroes and legendary spots. Kind of an oversight, but it doesn't really matter too much. This defense is at least better than last week's defense. Pretty bad. See if we can one-shot beat him, I would hope so. There we go, 95 damage, very solid. And well, he's at 9 HP, which is not great for him. He doesn't even get to heal here, so
Shine,
he's
Fulton!
sitting at 9 HP, which could be troublesome. He's not careful. Back to 15 though. Actually gonna go for the makes sense. And let's see. Alright, they're gonna go back into position. Take out legendary Rona, which is probably a good idea. AoE damage would definitely hurt. Legendary Mark specifically. And chances are he's not taking 0 damage from everyone, so
This is it for you.
there's that. And all that's left is Saros. This is not gonna end well for Saros. Literally can get nuked by about 4 of their units, I think. It's gonna hit end turn here, which is interesting. But to be able to survive. Saros, I should say, Brave Hector should be able to survive Saros' attack. I'm so scatterbrained. Speaking of scatterbrained, I'm not really sure about my plans going forward right now. Because currently we're on a mission to plus 10 dual Crom, but the more that I'm seeing how units are turning out in the meta, I'm starting to wonder, is it actually worth plus 10ing him long term? Because of course one thing that really lowers my evaluation of him is of course the special acceleration shenanigans. You can only use once per turn and for the first 4 turns only, so I don't know how to feel about that. And of course, another thing is his attack is only so high. Of course, he's always going to lose against
Not
combat,
good enough.
which is already kind of a sign that I probably should not be investing in Fjorm for combat purposes.
All will
Because,
perish.
for example, Legendary Crom have been using it for so long.
Too hard.
I've been able to use him for so long because he's been able to meme on the suggestion triangle, making not every green unit imaginable, but a ton of green units. And for dual Crom to just absolutely clonk on even not so tanky green units is kind of an oof. I don't know what to think of that. And of course, there's going to be more dual heroes on the horizon.
Weak.
We're probably going to be better and of course score better. But it goes without saying, one reason why I wanted to push him in first place is because he has to change fate. That by itself is just insane utility in
But how?
Coliseum modes like Arena especially, where you don't always have the luxury of being able to do things like hit and run, or just even reposition the unit out of the way, or moving forward. And it also gives him another action, so it can be useful for being super aggressive in Arena. Nowadays, I do plenty of that. So, here they just have no chance of winning because Duma has Vantage. No healing power to screw up Duma's Vantage, so Ripperoni. So at the end of the day, we might just be indefinitely stockpiling our orbs. I don't know. We'll have to see. Because the fact that Dual Crom at this stage of the meta already is missing kills with his own Deadeye on green units even is already indicative of maybe we should invest into it for those purposes. If we invested into him, it would purely be for score botting plus change fate, not for his actual combat stats. It would be purely support, which I don't know how to feel about that. Because of course we're still spamming out dancers in Arena because plus 10 mythic and legendary dancers to spam out. I don't know if it's really worth it, but we have time essentially. We're not completely committed to the decision. We're not dumping our orbs for the next few months anyways, so we still have time to think about it. Definitely starting to change my mind on getting that feeling that maybe we should just go ahead, see what other dual heroes on the horizon. Definitely not going to be plusing a Harmonized hero just because, well, we're not trying to try hard in Resonant battles anyways. We haven't since the start, all not actively spending orbs to go for Harmonized heroes. It's sunk cost fallacy for us. There's no real point in trying to compete with folks. If we could do it without much investment, then that would be cool, but of course we can't do that, so we just are super casual with it. We happen to have Harmonized heroes now, but of course not for every bonus title, or for every title I guess, because there's a bonus title rotation, but at the end of the day, yep, we're just going to be scratching our heads for a while. I think another silly thing that we can think about coming over the next few years. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to say next few years, if the game's still around by then, is, well, how are we going to deal with our blessing abuse scoring in the future? Because of course, in a couple of years, Legendary Crom, for example, as much as he scores now, it's pretty solid for what we have in general for most of our legendary heroes. Especially since he was basically the start of like real scoring shenanigans. He's gonna be full straight up, I don't know, equivalent of 4 BS2 bins behind in scoring. compared to the newest, greatest legendary heroes. And of course, with that comes rankings. Right now in Allegiance battles, for example, we are consistently no longer even, I think, top 200 or whatever. And in our weakest seasons, we're definitely pushing it for top 1k. I believe we typically end up in the bottom half of top 1k. I don't actually remember. But that just means, you know, top 1k is not something permanent for us. And that means we have to go about our way plus 10ing new legendary heroes, which is going to be hyper awkward. But of course, on one side of things, we could just boost our score by boosting up our actual blessing score bots, which honestly seems a way cheaper option. The problem is, of course, that at the end of the day, it's always going to be the legendary heroes that are going to bottleneck your score. It doesn't matter if you have the max scoring generic units if you don't have high enough scoring legendary heroes to also keep your score super high. So I don't know. I think it really just comes down to who do we want to plus 10 and then just go with it. Speaking of going with it, our opponent here is just going to use Brave Blood and Valentine Lucina, both with damage reduction and no follow-up support, and I guess more special acceleration, why not? So, of course, this is never going to end well for us. The only unit that has any sort of chance of picking up a kill here is Legendary Lilna, and of course, she doesn't even have a re-up because they
May my love reach farther.
to screw over her special acceleration turn 1, so there's no chance of us picking up any kills as long as they don't throw into one of their units out of range for relevant units here. But here, Ascended Fjorm not going to do enough for the kill, not even close, and he's just going to heal right back up. We don't have field smoke. And even if we did, still wouldn't matter because with the wind part doing fine. There's what is it? It reduces the effects of weakness by 60%. I mean, we don't ever see that interaction on our defenses. I don't think we even use Fatal Smoke on defense besides, I guess, Legendary Sigurd. I guess that's the only unit we have Fatal Smoke now. It might not be. I just do not use Fatal Smoke often enough to know. Feels bad, man.
This is it.
So, I don't know what to think about defense at this point. They're pretty much just doing whatever, and they're set up here to pick up those lectures. And we have legendary male Violet to pick up the kill on Zeros. I believe he's also bonus this week. But I definitely saw some jank builds on units this week too on offense. I think one of the most notable jank builds was Water Sweep Male Violet, Legendary Male Violet, but they weren't investing at the speed. They went attack, what is it? Attack Blaze, ideal. I don't even know why they didn't just stick with the I guess Dragon. I don't know. The point is, why would you run Water Sweep when you don't even guarantee the speed check? Because it was an unmerged with no speed investment, so his speed isn't actually that high. So you could have super slow dragons easily beat that speed. I guess it doesn't even matter because he isn't even doing that much damage in the first place. I guess that's more for the super slow dragons with 34 ages, but even then, I don't know. I guess that's not the best example of a gank build, but there's the zero Party Fighter Aegis moment. Not like we can do anything against this team. It's too tanky for us. Have element support as well. No chances of winning. Unless again they throw and leave a unit outside of the save range. But no such thing can happen around here at this rate. But that's the meta. Party Fighters. Honestly, if Party Fighters didn't have the effect that neutralizes all of the opponent's guaranteed follow-up attack effects, it would be much weaker. Significantly weaker. Because then units would be able to unproc special more consistently, and then some other units would come in and attack without the special proc. And that would be possible because of the guaranteed follow-up attacks. Because for example, if Legendary Julia still had her guaranteed follow-up attack against a unit like Great Hector, she would be able to attack twice. Pretty much guaranteed, he's never gonna one-shot her.
Candy Grudge!
Especially if she has her damage reduction active in Ether's defense. So she'll be able to attack twice, so that wouldn't kill, but she would survive and potentially, depending on the defense, either another unit could come in to attack, or another unit could, or she could herself get danced and attack. Probably not nuke, to be honest, because it's super hard to one-shot a unit with 84 HP, but I mean, you know, you can always dream. And by one-shot, I pretty much mean without a special, because you can definitely one-shot units with a special. Unfortunately for us this season, we got a bit unfortunate on the timing of some matches. Well, most of our successes here came right after a failure. So that's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, we are still easily staying in vaults, and we're probably making top 3k here. Top 1k, of course, is much higher. Probably can't achieve that during Astra season anytime soon, unless people just stop playing, which I don't think is happening anytime soon, to be honest. Already seen Resonant Battles, and like I was mentioning here in Legion's Battles, we're running our Water Season team, and we're ranked 368. So, for Water and Earth Season, we're of course still in top 500. It's just for Wind and Fire, we aren't. So that'll be something to think about, but easily staying here with 3890. I was expecting the cutoff to be a bit higher because I thought more people would have, you know, at least Sheeta or Legendary Zero. Mostly the latter here, but I guess not. Or people just aren't bothering to fish higher scores, so not too concerned there. But anyways, we'll be back when the results drop in.